What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the one and only Rumboyz Fantasy Network. We are back. It's a Tuesday night. This is the Goal Line Goons podcast. I am back after getting shelled at work yesterday.
I am back with still no voice, but we're ready to do it again, keep it live and in charge because we rough and rugged out here delivering winners, baby.
I know, definitely have a lot to talk about. We are going to dive right into it. We are going to start things off with the injury report. I'm just going to start it off with what took place last night. I'm just gonna Tyreek Hill dislocated knee heading into age 32. That one sucks. That one sucks. This is a man that you kind of wanted to see, like, maybe after football utilize his speed and athletic ability for something, and it's like he's saying that him and his agent came out stating, yep, we're going to be gearing up for next season and it won't be in Miami. Obviously, we knew that was definitely going to be the case. I don't know. Here's the thing. If you're an NFL team, if you weren't going to trade for Tyreek already, why would you go and get him in? And if part of the reason, from what I'm understanding, from what I know, from my NFL beat writer circle and group chat I'm in, is a lot of that had to do with allegations with his, now ex-wife, so on and so forth. So is the team even going to go and gamble on you at 32 years old with this injury plus a looming court case in the background? So that one is very interesting. Malik Neighbors, that one hurts. That one hurts deeply. Immediately, it's a killing me softly with this song, killing me softly.
I do want to add one thing. I really the Giants ownership for the fact of that stupid fucking turf that they have. The amount of injuries that we've had on this turf, like all the announcements started off.
Don't know hype.
Hey, get it,
Billy.
But yeah, the Giants need to fix that fucking turf. There's too many injuries that have occurred, too many ACLs, too many big players on both sides from opposing teams that have come over and Giants that have been there. That turf has to go. That's a consensus.
I'm not going to disagree with you, but I do just also have to throw out the fact that this is the NFL, buddy. Everyone uses turf.
Yeah, but our shit has been like really shitty. Like the amount of injuries on that turf, like big names, is like ridiculous when you see it.
It's not just your field though. It's like I wish I could say that it's only.
I'm gonna get some more stats for the next one so I can back this.
This is a football players debate from like the beginning of time. Is turf over grass or grass versus turf. Lamar Jackson out with a hamstring. I think he just pulled himself out of the game after getting his shit pushed in 6 different ways till Sunday. Ricky Pearsall out with a knee. And Jalen Warren out with a knee. Let's see here. We do have a question over on Twitch. I just traded JSN Anameka for Jamar and Nico. I think I fucked up bad.
Yeah.
I think you did too.
Yeah. Jamar is probably not even a wide receiver 2 at this point with how bad the Bengals offense looks. And that's
It's just
really
bad.
sad.
And it doesn't look like, as much as we as football fans want to try and talk this into existence of Cincinnati going and getting a quarterback, we need to remember that Cincinnati is cheap. Cincinnati will put being cheap over winning any given fucking day of the week. That is their culture. That is how the Bengals have been built since the early 90s. It's just, that is their culture.
And
You're not getting, you're not getting boys to spend money.
When you have that much invested in 3 players, the other phases of your team are really lacking. Your defense can't hold up. Your offensive
Matt, why are
line
you
is
dead inside? I want to know why Matt's dead inside, since he commented that during his dono hype. He donoed to say that he was dead inside.
I want to say that he probably lost neighbors. He lost someone that we talked about.
No, he thinks he fucked up. I traded Kyron and Ted McMillan for Chase Brown, Brees Hall, and Keon Coleman. That
Y'all gotta come to us first. We got Twitter handles and IG handles. Come ask us some questions, guys.
Oh God, I would
Don't do that.
I would have not have done that. Krom, the Bengals are so bad. Yeah, we're definitely going to talk more about it. I did pull off a fantasy trade this weekend at the Cigar Lounge. I did pull off Kyron Williams for Omarion Hampton. I needed the touchdown upside, and I felt that it was fair. So I did pull that one off. Now I'm sitting back and I'm like, I don't know if I should have did that.
Wait, you got Kyron?
Yeah, I got Kyron. I was planning on doing it at the beginning of the season already. I pretty much am I'm gonna get just a little bit more than what I was getting out of Hampton. I have a much safer floor as well, whereas Hampton is just fucking volatile.
Well, I'll say this: with Najee being out and with him kind of like getting immersed into his
did force that trade.
I'm thinking it's a good bet on Hampton to be better this rest of the season.
Really quick, just gonna run through the injury report one more time. Rapid fire: Tyreek Hill, Malik Neighbors, Lamar Jackson, Ricky Pearsall, Jalen Warren. We have entered the bye weeks, my friends. Bye weeks are officially upon us. We have 4. We have 4 bye weeks. Okay. So Falcons, Bears, Packers, Steelers. What does this mean? This means you probably weren't starting Penix or anyone anyways at the quarterback position from the Falcons, but you're not going to have your Drake Londons, your Darnell Mooney's, your Bijan Robinson, more importantly. So those guys won't be out there. For the Bears, you're going to be missing Rome Odunze. Caleb, who was probably like a fringe, starter, or maybe, a QB2 for you in a league. If you were in a 2 QB league, you are going to be missing Luther Burden, who seemed like he started showing some flashes, and he's ready to take over DJ Moore, who we'll talk about later in the show. Green Bay Packers, you're missing that whole offense: Romeo Doubs, Jordan Love, Josh Jacobs, but there's some pieces that are going to be on waivers that you might be able to get away and stash if your roster allows it. And then for the Steelers, no Jalen Warren, no DK Metcalf, no Aaron Rodgers, no Pat Freiermuth. I feel like that's really all that I need to call off from that roster. You should not have Caleb Johnson on your roster. No, we do have a Discord. Link is down below.
I will say that the timing of the Warren injury is pretty good for the Steelers, because he was going to try to play that game on Sunday. He did the warm-ups and things didn't look right. So them having the bye week after this little injury overseas is a good rest, so that he really won't miss, hopefully, much more time than he had. I think the biggest thing between the buys and the injuries, that Ricky Pearsall injury is probably the one that I'm most looking at and thinking it might fuck some people up because it's a Thursday game for Ricky. So it's a short turnaround. So he's someone that you're going to have to monitor the reports the next couple of days because there's a good chance that he might not play with that knee injury. It looks like it was a PCL strain. So I would already start gearing up to replace Ricky because I have a feeling he's not going to play this week.
I don't want to say be ready to necessarily replace.
Well, you got 2 days. It's a short week. If it was a Sunday game, I think I would be a little bit more confident. But with them playing on Thursday, it's a little risky.
Hang on, I have to get the Discord link. Bow, and then that's how I do that. Like I said, I would kind of monitor the Ricky Pearsall injury. I'm in agreement with you there. It's definitely one to stay close to. You're losing Tyreek. You're losing Neighbors. Those ones suck. Lamar will be back. Lamar needs to get his head out of his ass. We're going to kind of talk about the Ravens a little bit later in the show. And Jaylen Warren will kind of evaluate and see how that one's going to play out.
He'll be back after the bye. I'm not worried about that.
I know that there's also like something weird going on with Bucky Irving. I know I didn't have him on the list.
So I heard that it's between the leg and the ankle. They don't really even know.
They don't know. They don't know. That's the fucking thing.
Jesus fucking Christ, bro.
Bro, Todd Bowles literally on record said, we have so many guys getting MRIs right now. I don't even know who's on the list. You're the coach. You're the
That's coach speak. You don't want to give it up. That's coach speak. That I'm not gonna kill him on that. That's coach speak. That's him not wanting to give it out because I think Bucky might be more hurt than we think.
That is not an acceptable answer in my opinion.
For us fantasy footballers, I agree. But I'm
for just Bucky. Proper media etiquette, like that's not a good. Those are what do they tell you? What do they tell you in media training? Don't feed the animals. That is literally one of the first things that they tell you. Don't give them too much, don't give them too little, but whatever you do, do not feed them. That Tampa media, well, look, they'll be on his ass. He needs to be careful. What do you mean you don't know? That's not good. That's not good. Look, reporters are like elephants. They never forget, bro. They will bring that up later down the line at some point. Waiver wire top ads week 5 based on percentage owned. So we're going to start off with the quarterbacks. The quarterbacks are pretty quick. There is one that I do want to quite like embellish on a little bit. So first, Jackson Dart, 20% rostered. The Dart era is here. The Dart era is alive and well. Do I approach this one with a little bit of caution, not having Malik Neighbors? I don't mind approaching it with caution. I don't think that you need to, and I don't want to go out, but I also don't want to go out there, bold prediction and be like, oh, well, like he's going to be fine. I'll tell you what, the kid is a fucking gamer, and the kid's going to be better than a lot of other decisions that you can make out there that you could just have as someone as a bench stash. So this is a quarterback that I am liking as a bench stash. You need to go out there and grab him.
I was saying
Taco, I'll let you brag about your Giants quarterback. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, before we get to the Giants quarterback, last week on this show, I was saying I'd pick him up early. I think that he's the kind of guy that you want to get before your other guys get. You get into a waiver wire or an auction bidding type scenario where you got to put more fab up. The thing that I like about him is that he runs, and he has designed runs. And when we talk about fantasy football, sometimes it's not about like your talent or who you have around you. It's how you're used. And in the way that they're using him, he's going to have a solid floor. Now, is his upside going to be as high as it was without Malik Neighbors? Absolutely not. But I do think you're looking at a pretty much solid top 15 quarterback week in, week out because of that rushing upside, that rushing touchdown possibility. Yep. And I think that's where he will
the rushing gets me, the moxie gets me, the way that he understands the system. He came from Ole Miss, which is, they play a very pro style offense, under Lane Kiffin. So all all green flags that I saw from Jackson Dart. Maybe not the necessary priority when we talk about these quarterbacks, but definitely a quarterback that I'm into. No, Dylan Gabriel is not on my list because I am not going to encourage any of my followers to roster any quarterback from the Cleveland Browns, because as long as they are Browns, they are going to suck. That even goes for as soon as we get to see Shador in like week 8. Okay, like don't do it. Just don't. It's Cleveland. Why would you do? Drew Carey doesn't even believe in Cleveland. Would it be cool if I post my team on Discord so y'all tell me how cook that? Yeah, bro. Yes, you can post your team on Discord. Yes. And look, we ain't going to necessarily say that you cook. We're just going to help you navigate that thing. Almost this is it's a fairly easily transitionable offense, for a quarterback to go from there to into the pros and be able to make leaps and bounds. Sam Darnold, 15%. Sam Darnold in the next quarterback that and what do a lot of teams in the NFL run, buddy? RPOs. Sam Darnold and the next quarterback on this list, Sam Darnold at 15% rostered, and then Matt Stafford at 40% rostered. You need to be having one of these two. I'm not understanding especially after what we saw from Darnold last year, what Darnold has kind of already been showing us this season. For his case, I'm not understanding not even having him as a bench stash heading into bye weeks, fucking already 4 weeks into football. Sam Darnold not even being on your bench, but I'm finding out that some of you are still fucking keeping Bryce Young is mind-boggling.
What?
Some of you are still hanging on to JJ for when he comes back.
What?
Some of you guys were going out here getting these other backup quarterbacks throughout the waivers, throughout the other weeks, and completely passing on perfectly viable, veteran, proven guys. Let me tell you a little something about Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford is already on a trajectory of ending top 12 at the end of the season. It is very easy to go and get Matthew Stafford on your roster right now. If you are having a backup quarterback issue, in the league, my hand got forced where I can start Daniel Jones. I'm okay. If you're having a backup quarterback issue, go get Stafford. Exactly. Stafford with such a safe floor. With such a fucking safe floor. I'm not getting this hate. I'm not getting this slander. I don't understand. You watch our fantasy show. You watch other fantasy shows. You look at rankings. How is this guy still out there with all the data that's available?
So I will play a little devil's advocate here, and there's two parts of Stafford that scare probably most people. With the first being his injury history, him coming with the back thing to start the season, which made people sour. And then if we look at his scoring in traditional 1-point PPR, 13 points, 17 points, 13 points in his first 3 games. In this last game, he put up 27 points versus the Colts, which was his best game. But 2 of the 4 games, he was under 15 points. And that's the problem with the pocket QB. As great as they are in real life, that lack of rushing ability really hurts your point production.
He is still giving you, especially with that, just through the passing alone.
Yeah.
Through the passing
how about
alone.
How about this? Jackson Dart's first game outscored the first 3 games of this season for Stafford.
I'm going to put it like this, okay? If you are undefeated, you don't need to worry, okay? If you are 3-1, this conversation is for you. If you are 2-2, if you are 1-3, you need to be prioritizing going and getting Matthew Stafford. If you're 0-4, it's over. I won't say that because I've seen people come back from 0-4 and make the playoffs. I've seen people come back from 0-4 and win the whole fucking thing. I have been 0-4 and I have done that. So I'm not gonna say that. Is it a stretch? It makes it harder. It does make it harder, but you're not completely out of it by any means.
I mean,
Especially with bye weeks rearing their ugly heads.
As of today, Matthew Stafford is QB 12. Okay, he is performing better than Geno and Darnold. He is sad to say with the scoring that we're seeing in the league. Despite him having, most of his games under 18 points, he's still a top 12 quarterback. Take of that what you will. Last game he scored 27. Every game before that he didn't score at least 18. So,
with the weapons that he has, I'm willing to at least have him as a bench stash.
I would matchup play him.
With bye weeks coming up. Yes. Yeah. Yes.
I would still probably add Dart over him because of the running.
Single QB got Drake May. Stafford is on waivers. Do I currently still pick him up? I'm 2-2.
You rocking with Drake May?
Yeah, you could still rock with May. You could still rock with May because
right now, for the record, Drake May is the number 4 QB on the season, and in single point PPR, he has 15, 26, 19, 23. This is again another situation of he has the consistent floor because of his rushing upside on the season. He has 24 rushing attempts for 98 yards and 2 touchdowns. So that's kind of where it's like, yeah, you might not be the best thrower, but you get those cheap rushing points where it's only 10 yards per point as opposed to 25 yards per point.
It's also weapons in the offense that he's dealing with too. Moving on from the quarterbacks. We told you so last week. We've told you so previous weeks. We've been bringing him up. Woody Marks is still out there, 30% availability. 78% of you still have Nick Chubb on rosters. Now, I'm not saying that for me, Nick Chubb is droppable if Woody Marks is available. I have no problem swapping that out 1 for 1. I'm sorry, Chubb is a shell of himself. I'm saying you need to be grabbing Woody Marks. This is a player that we said that could start earning his own timeshare. And guess what? It's happening. And it's happening at a rate to where I'm like, Nixon, if you come back and if you're a shell of yourself,
and there's
it's
2
Woody season wheels up.
There's a couple of beautiful points about this. One, we did bring this up last week to get you ahead of the curve where you didn't maybe have to spend fab or spend a waiver wire because we're like, hey, you need to be keeping the bottom of your roster good. This is a guy with opportunity. He's working his way in. But what we're seeing now is Joe Mixon hasn't really gotten a timetable of when he's coming back. That's not a good sign. And his injury it didn't seem all too reassuring what was going on there. So much like Robbie says, it might be wheels up on Woody Marks a lot sooner than we thought, and wheels up in a big way because he was being used in the passing game, the running game. He was balling. And when you're balling like that, it's hard for a coach to say, yeah, older guy that's not playing is good. I want you to get all the now. Don't get it twisted. There's some coaches that are like that. They really are some coaches that are like that. Doesn't seem like we'll have that situation in Houston as they've already started to give him that role. Very excited. Make your move. He would definitely be someone that I would spend 30% of my fab on.
If Woody could bring you JSN, there's nothing wrong with throwing out that offer. I doubt that person is taking that, but I could also see a reason for that person being like, oh well, fuck, I have Nick Chubb. I could see that person easily being like, oh well, because it's Nick Chubb, I'm not going to move him out of my RB2, but it's going to be nice to have. I could see that.
Like Lad McConkey and Woody Marks for JSN, I can do that.
Oh yeah. Oh well, fuck yeah. Brashard Smith, Kansas City Chiefs, 2% rostered. A lot of these, it's just because it just seemed like it was a weird week. I don't want you guys going crazy on a lot of these names that I'm about to throw out there.
I will say that Brashard Smith did catch my eye last week, and one of the biggest reasons why is he does look like the most explosive back in that backfield, and we're seeing Pacheco and Hunt just not have the juice that they normally have.
Yeah.
And I think that, much like Robbie said, this isn't a rush out and get, but my eyes are on that prize. And I think that come by the end of the season, as they get to the playoffs, the coaching staff will probably gauge that he is the better back on the team, and you start needing getting him ready for the playoffs, and you have to have him in certain situations. So I do think he can play himself into a role, and God forbid there's an injury. Obviously, we know that automatically elevates.
Keandre Miller, 5%. This is more so like, hey, if anything ever fucking happens to Alvin Kamara, you need to have Keandre. But then also, like, I want you to keep in mind that it is the New Orleans Saints. That's all I have to kind of wrap that. Like that's all that I really can't say. They are going to be playing, from behind so damn often that, God forbid, if anything does like what happened to Kamara, like I still don't think that Keandre is popping off like on the fantasy radar like that huge to where like you know what I mean. I feel like if I'm a Kamara manager, then I'm going and I'm buying Keandre now while I can, and just kind of stashing him. But that's really the thought process. If I'm anyone else, like if I don't know if I do it. I don't know if I do it. It depends on who I have on my roster to drop. It would be if I do it. Let's see here. Xavier Scott, 1% rostered. I'm not. We'll talk about Jordan Mason later. I think that was more so just kind of the way that things shook out. I'm not too worried about Mason. But someone to keep your eye on there in that Minnesota offense. And Amari DiMercato. 2% rostered. This is now becomes a situation like if anything were to happen with Benson. Not too worried about Benson. I think that it was just a situation of, hey, we're down. We need to like a quick burst, change pace. I think that's really all that it was. I think that was the game script allowed for Amari to get those looks, because those looks didn't come until the end of the third or end of the fourth quarter.
2-minute drill. It was in 2-minute drill. But I will say this. I got the shocker of the day. My friend sent me Trey Benson undisclosed, not at Monday's practice. I said, grr. Then they say, the Cardinals signed Michael Carter to their active roster on Monday, and Coach Jonathan Gannon said that he only gave a vague, taking it day by day. What we also then saw, someone from Twitter had posted an alignment on Benson's leg at the end or during that game last week on Thursday, and he never came back in the game afterward. I didn't realize that. I don't think anyone really called that out, but he apparently had a leg injury, and that could be part of the reason why he wasn't at all involved in that 2-minute drill. And then with the vague disclosure that we're getting now, I'm actually a bit worried for Trey Benson because he does have a Thursday game this week. Excuse me. He has a Sunday game, thankfully.
Yeah.
Last week they had the Thursday game. So you have some time to look at it. But I am a little bit worried. We have to keep monitoring the injury report. And last season, when there was injuries, apparently Michael Carter was getting the early work. So this is a situation to watch. And Michael Carter might be a back that could be interesting for some players, especially in desperate heaves with the bye and with possible injuries, coming around. It's definitely a little bit of a sticky situation, and I wish we had some more details. But definitely something to keep an eye on.
Chris Rodriguez, 8%. I've already told you guys, kind of like how I feel about the Washington backfield. But we are starting to get into that point of the season where backs are going to start going down, and you're not going to really have too much of a say-so in who you're really grabbing off the waiver wire. He is getting looks. He is getting some usage. It's still going to be weird to see how that shakes out, especially when, Jaden comes back this week, and it's like, well, your quarterback can also dip the fuck out too and vulture from you. So, like, do you still even really want to get involved in that whole timeshare of everything of what that is and what that can be, and then also including Debo on jet sweeps? It's too convoluted. It's too convoluted of a backfield. And I think that we were going to deal with this situation in Washington, irregardless, no matter what of Eckler going down, weeks ago or not. Justice Hill, super interesting. Keeps appearing on the list. He keeps getting brought up on the show, keeps getting talked about. Here's why. Baltimore keeps finding themselves in situations where they're down. What have we learned about what Baltimore does when they're down? Derrick Henry ain't in the game when they're down. It's Justice Hill. It's worth it to maybe have him stashed with bye weeks coming up on a roster or two, because he can step out there and, get a couple of fantasy points, be able to create a safe floor in garbage time situations. And sometimes that may be all the fuck that you need to get you through a bye week with your studs out, who already haven't really been performing anyways. So you might as well just say fuck it and roll the dice.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Derrick Henry singing edits. Getting into the wide receivers, Wan'Dale Robinson, 50% availability. You have a 50-50 shot at getting Wan'Dale. Here's the thing. Wan'Dale lines up in the slot, and I feel like that's why with that offense, that's why you want Wan'Dale a lot more. It's a safer option, safer floor. Whereas Darius Slayton is going to be stepping into the Malik Neighbors role. Yes, there is that, always, big play threat ability there, but he's also going to be draw marrying the primary corners coverage. So do you really want to be trusting Darius Slayton with the responsibility of having to go out there and get you Malik Neighbors type ass points if you had lost Neighbors, or even if you're just looking for a wide receiver 2 or a flex that can really go out there and go off? Wan'Dale might be the safer option in this offense with Neighbors out.
I definitely agree with you. Even though in that last game he didn't look the best, didn't have the most targets, I just think that overall, he probably is the safest bet that you have left at wide receiver on the Giants.
Jalen Coker out of the Panthers, 9% rostered. Carolina's just going to be playing from behind. Carolina's just going to be playing from behind. So you know that those receivers are going to get their targets, their fair share. Luke McCaffrey, 1%. You don't need to go out there and rush and go get Luke McCaffrey. I think that it's more so of the backup was in, used to training with the backup, so got some looks, got some shares. Alec Amener keeps ending up on here. He is now outproducing Calvin Ridley on this offense, to the point where Calvin Ridley might be getting close to the point here within a couple of weeks if it keeps going in this direction, where might be getting dropped off your rosters if you're not able to use him as a trade component. Demarcus Robinson, 1%. Because there's bodies, just bodies all over San Fran. Isaiah Bond, 0%. This is, again, kind of, Dylan Gabriel's now going to be the starter. Could Bond now, really see some shine and pop off? Looked a little decent last week. But, again, it's Cleveland. I don't want you guys going crazy, okay? Bryce spreads the ball too much. Yeah, for fantasy football purposes, yes, Bryce does spread the ball too much. But that's David Canales for you, too. With the tight ends, Britton Strange, fucking Doctor Strange. 25% available. He's going to keep having these weeks where he's going to pop off. He's going to show up on the radar. He's going to show up on the waiver wire report. At this point in the season, just keep him as a tight end 2 on your roster whenever your tight end 1 ain't acting right and you need to put somebody else in there. Darren Waller is probably going to be getting some shine here recently just because Tyreek being out. Yeah, Jonnu did eat in that offense. I would not drop Juwan for Waller. You do not need to drop Juwan for Waller. Don't do that. No, don't do that. Elijah Arroyo, 2%. Aronde Granson. Yeah, it's Gatson. I apologize. It's Gatson. 2%. Theo Johnson, 3%. We've already talked about Malik Neighbors being out, people. Theo and Jackson. I mean, Theo and Jackson. Seems like there's a connection there. It seems like they got it like that. You know, it seems like that's like his real best friend. So maybe be on the lookout for that one to keep building up. You don't got to go out there and go get him right now. Be on the lookout for that one to just start stocking up, for that stock to start going up. And then Jake Tunges. I'm so happy that I pronounced his name correctly. I'm sorry, it's Tunges. 3% available. If Kittle's out, clearly the tight end is still going to be of use in that San Fran offense. So if you could you could get Fannin, like I would have Fannin over Strange.
Now, there's one other tight end actually it's a little bit interesting to me. He's from the Jets. I'm gonna say Mason
Taylor.
Yeah, he's low-key someone that I'm starting to vibe with. And reason why, look at the last 2 games. 2 games ago, he had 6 targets, 4 catches, 18 yards. In the last game, he had 7 targets, 5 catches, 65 yards. Target distribution is heading towards his way. We're talking about tight end, which is really
he's a dog. He's a dog.
Yeah. So low-key, he's on my radar right now. He does get Dallas this week.
You know who
you're streaming and you need someone. I can't see a reason why.
You know what bloodline he comes from, right?
Nah.
That's Jason Taylor's nephew.
Oh,
yeah. Okay.
Wonder why Jason Taylor was at that game, right? He's like, I'm a Dolphin. My homie playing.
Yeah, Joy was at that game.
I bet she was. That social media influencer.
Mason over Fannin? No, I wouldn't do that. I would still go Fannin. As the weeks go on, I could probably see myself changing that, but that's also because I was super high on Mason Taylor. Like at the start of the season, like I was like fucking obnoxiously high on Mason Taylor. There are teams where I have not dropped Mason Taylor yet before he even started going the fuck off. Because you know what? I was like, you're a dog. I know that you're gonna be a dog, and I'm just waiting for the fucking opportunity.
And he has Dallas, Denver's,
but I'm also not gonna feed my bias into data. Pick data over me being biased.
And I think that's why it's even better that I brought it up instead of you, because again, your bias didn't come up with my data analysis. And we have Dallas, Denver, Carolina, Cincinnati. 3 of those matchups are pretty good. Denver, we know Denver has great cornerbacks. If you have Pat Surtain on Wilson,
yes, too.
I mean, Taylor might have a shot to get a little volume because you got your top receiver blanketed by a top corner. So I'm not against it.
You ready for panic or chill?
Oh, yeah. We're panicking all day.
There's some of these where I'm like, fuck yeah. And there's some of these where I'm like, no. Like, what are you doing? Like, don't let recency bias get the best of you. Trey Benson, we kind of talked about this one, but we can now like really like go in. for me personally, I'm not worried.
No, I think the only thing that we're worried about is if he's going to play this week. Like that, like hearing that he had that injury and that could be a big factor in why he didn't play that 2-minute drill literally gives me less cause to pause. I'm a little bit more like, oh, this might be the buy low time. Like some people might not realize like how good he is and see that DeMarcado got that work at the end and might be like thinking it's a little oh yeah, I'm gonna get away with getting rid of this guy that's not gonna have the full backfield. And when he comes back and he starts putting it on him, you're like, oh shit. So I'm targeting Benson. I might see if the person that has him might be willing to trade him this week before he plays. Because again, last week ended pretty bad, you know.
I am saying chill, okay, on the Trey Benson situation. I feel like that the fantasy community were so quick to just overreact. And sometimes it takes a level head like our show to kind of step in there and be like, hang on, let's take it a second back. Let's take it a step back. Take a deep breath. It's all right. Here's your emotions in fantasy football. And here's a box. We're going to take the emotions. We're going to put them in a box. We're going to take that box. We're going to throw this motherfucker into the ocean. All right. And let it sail far, far away. All right.
When it comes to fantasy football, Omarion got my theme song. I got an icebox where my heart used to be. So cold, so cold, so cold.
Bro. Well, the next couple players I'm gonna bring up are I'm definitely so cold on me, but just kind of like getting back like the whole like Trey Benson situation. Like this Arizona Cardinals team clearly like for some reason views themselves as like competitive.
They are.
So they're gonna be in shootouts. They're gonna be in nasty, ugly dogfight type games.
You know what I'll say?
Like
Their defense is much better than I gave them credit for. Their defense is playing really good.
The Gannon effect is alive and well. I want to see the offense do a little bit more. I think that also kind of had something to do with it. But
seeing MHJ finally get going, could be hopefully that unlock that they need because they started to score towards the end. So that is kind of something that, in my mind's eye, I'm hoping finally starts to get cooking because that's like the next unlock for that team is getting MHJ actually working to then have everyone else feed off.
I have a part where I will bring it up, Leafs. Gosh, don't worry. Don't worry. DJ Moore. Panic or chill.
So if we were to like use like military levels, this is DEFCON 5.
Why? Like, bro, I'm
like, because you know what it is? The problem that we saw in the offseason was that they were using DJ Moore in these weird gadgety ways, trying to manufacture touches, putting him in the backfield to run. And you only do that when, in my opinion, you know that you have your other guy locked in. And Rome looked like he was going to be the one in preseason. But again, that was speculation. And then as the season went on, Rome is the one. Period. DJ Moore is now fighting for the 2 or 3 or possibly 4 because Swift is probably the 2 because of how much they run. And, where does that leave DJ Moore? I don't know. I'm trying to trade him if I can. I was not drafting him anywhere this year because this was a very messy and convoluted situation. The only one I really liked out of here was Rome because his ADP was discounted. So you were getting the potential 1 at a wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4 price, which is tantalizing. There is no part of DJ Moore that I want right now. If I can package him off, I will. If I have him on my lineup, I don't even know if I could bench him, but I probably will bench him because it's a bit
How are
tough.
we even in this situation? How deep? Like, if we're in this situation, like I'm probably gonna lean Malik again because
How did we get here?
But like, yo, like that's a crazy. I love a good old fashioned deep league question. But damn,
yeah,
we wait to figure out what is happening with the Bucky injury. It's a 29-man league. But Sean Tucker could be something. Sean Tucker could be something.
I mean, don't forget though, Rashard White is still there.
Yeah, Rashad White is there, and they're probably going to just go right back to old reliable, which is I 100% is exactly what I think that they do.
And White hasn't looked back. Like White really didn't lose his job. It was that Bucky took his job. Like White was okay, he was serviceable. You can get away with him, but then when you have Bucky there being a monster, blowing up big plays, you're like, well, I can't keep this guy as the starter.
White's not going to take you to a Super Bowl if you're Tampa.
You know what he is? He's a great, like, solid vet that you just keep on the team. And when someone gets hurt, he'll fill in admirably. But you don't want him being your main back because he just doesn't have that juice.
Yeah, I'm gonna go agree with you though. Going back to DJ Moore, absolute shit show, absolute panic. I am finding any way to get this man off my team. Like, I figured that the Rome Caleb connection was going to happen. We kind of talked about it, throughout the offseason, but I think that we were all just kind of punch drunk from what we know that DJ Moore can be in fantasy football as a deep threat. Like, we always have to go back and replay that Cam Newton clip. Or where he's explaining to Steve Smith, technically it's a Steve Smith clip, where Cam Newton's like, no, like he cool, bro, like he good, like no, like I got him, like Cam had to kind of come into DJ Moore's defense because Steve Smith was like, did I just put you in my flex? Like, because I ain't about to put you do I start you this week? Like I'm probably just gonna put you in my flex. And I think that we're back to having that conversation about DJ Moore, where that clip resurfaces again. That clip starts making its rounds around the internet again. And if I check my watch precisely, it's about that time. DJ Moore got everyone again to buy into the fantasy hype, to buy into the fantasy stock. And DJ Moore managers are left holding the bag. I don't think that you can really trade DJ. What the fuck are you doing?
That was weird. I'm trying to pull up some stats, and one of the things popped up.
This thing. Bro, it's hard out here. I lost all my wide receivers this week. I'm starting Keon Coleman, and I got to pick up waiver wide receivers too. Damn. You lost. That means you had a roster with Reek and Neighbors. Damn.
And maybe some buys.
And buys, yeah. I'll switch to a running back, and I'll save the last receiver. Jordan Mason, panic or chill?
Chill. Who's panicking on Jordan Mason? They're facing Pittsburgh. And I think the number one thing we said is Pittsburgh can't be that bad. That defense has too many good players on it. I just didn't believe that they would be that bad. And he didn't have a horrible game. He had 16 rush attempts and 3 catches. He didn't get the tutty. He had about 10 points in standard. He did 23 versus the Cincinnati Bengals. This week, against Cleveland. Damn. I mean, once you get past this week, though, you'll be a lot better off.
Yeah, once he gets past this week, it won't even matter. So it's like you might just have to eat this one.
Yeah.
Go ahead, continue.
Oh, Jordan Mason has the bye in week 6. If I could sell Jordan Mason, though, I probably would. Because when you look at his next 4 games, Cleveland, bye, Philly, Chargers, Detroit, then you figure sometime Aaron Jones is going to be back, and that's going to deflate his value. Some people probably will forget that Aaron Jones will be back and that Jordan Mason is not going to have the job all year. This was a short-term kind of thing. So if I can extract some value from him, maybe get a more solid back that I feel like I would trade Jordan Mason and deal to get Trey Benson. You know what I mean? That to me is like a deal I would try to do, or try and get like a Jalen Warren.
I would do that. Yeah, I would do that. I mean, and to kind of like just like capsulate and put it in perspective. I mean, I always like to preach that reality and fantasy meet. Okay. In reality, when we see the Minnesota Vikings sit at 2-2, when we capsulize what we've already seen of JJ McCarthy, even with him returning, are we realistically picturing this offense to be that explosive enough to last us even deep into the playoffs? No. So you know what? Let me get Jordan Mason off my roster and let me maybe get someone from a more competitive, high explosive offense.
Yeah. I agree.
Well, because you lost all of your receivers, you have to send that off.
I mean, even
I love you, bro, but you gotta make that one happen. I would do that.
If I'm getting Marvin Harrison for Travion, I'm doing that 10 out of 10.
I'm doing that. Hang on. Half PPR, 2 flex, can be a tight end. 12-man league. Caleb Williams, Genty, Pollard, Adunze's on bye. Jason, Juwan Johnson, Mbuka, Golden's on bye. Caleb's on bye actually as well too. So you're starting May because Caleb's on bye.
Starting Ridley because Dunze's on bye.
Yep, you're having to start Ridley.
I'm not really liking that. Downs, I don't really. Let me see what Downs is. Downs.
Oh, he's like, that's last week's update. He's like, I know who's on bye. Okay, I was about to say, keep Golden or pick up Dobbs off waivers. Bro, so Dobbs is the one that I want everyone stashing during bye weeks right now. I want everyone stashing Dobbs. Dobbs is the go-to receiver right now. Like, you yes. Pick up Dobbs.
Let's also keep in mind, Jaden Reed is out. He is on IR. He's already missed 3 games. Game 5 or week 5 is a bye. So I think he might be back week 6. So let's also keep that in mind as well.
I still think it's going to be Dobbs season. I feel like Jordan Love has found a connection. Pick a defense for this week. Cleveland Rams, KC, Giants, Miami, Houston, New Orleans. I am probably about to tell you to go Cleveland. Look, it's a London game. It's international. Weird shit happens. That Cleveland defense might fuck around and go off.
I mean, if you can get Arizona's playing Tennessee. That to me is like a streamer's delight. And I'm going to be 100 with you. I stream my defenses. I do not keep him each week. I literally play the odds. Giants defense to me this week versus New Orleans after the way they looked last week with the pass rush. I'd be willing to bet on that as well. I mean, obviously, they can bust, but I think that's a solid matchup, all things considered.
Yeah, Rams in a Thursday night matchup against a divisional opponent. I wouldn't want you to get behind the 8 ball. I do think that the Rams go out there and cause absolute fucking havoc, but weirder shit has happened too.
Agreed.
Guys, I've been saying I would do that. Especially even when Reed comes back. Golden's gonna be an afterthought. Drop Ollie Gordon for Keandre Miller. I also got Blake Corum. I don't know. I would still probably roll Ollie over Keandre.
It's crazy though. The last 2 weeks for Matthew Golden, he's had 4 targets, four catches and 52 yards, and he added 3 runs or 9 yards in week 3. And then in week 4, he had 1 rushing attempt for 5 yards, 6 targets, 5 receptions, 58 yards. slowly but surely he's becoming a little stable, but I don't know what this target share looks like once Reed is back and as they continue. I think it's a little murky as we go in. This was a team where they don't really have a true one, and Love does share the ball. So I think they all could be good, but I think they can all be, volatile week to week, particularly when they're all healthy.
Smitty, because of you have two backs out of these four that have situations that are absolutely diabolical in regards to who they have to play against, and that's Benson and Monty. Those are situations they are absolutely going to take advantage of. You got Benson against Tennessee, and then you got Monty against Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's those two hands down. It's those two hands down. It don't get much better than those matchups.
Marks is really a dart throw because while he did it last week is last week, and we know how shit happens. The next week, the coach can really fuck shit up.
Baltimore, they have to play against Baltimore. Baltimore's going to want to get their lick back.
Yeah, so that's a little dicey right now. If you got to do it, you got to do it, though. I'm starting him in one league because I got
to. Last panic or chill. A.J. Brown.
I don't know what people expected. I really don't.
I'm full panic.
I don't know how you could panic because you should be expecting this. Like, if you drafted him, you had to expect this.
If you draft him, you pretty much were expecting at least wide receiver 2 numbers.
I don't even know.
You were not expecting this serious of a fucking fall off.
He is a home run hitter.
Jalen Hurts does not want to throw the ball whatsoever. Like, it's not even like I'm convinced. I'm purely fucking convinced. I'm convinced there was a meeting during the offseason. It was, I don't like none of my receivers. I don't necessarily need to use them. We can just run the fucking rock and not have to worry and still win football games. And I really think that it's became that. Would you start Rattler over Purdy even if Purdy plays because of the injuries? No, not. I'd rather die on my sword. There's no way in hell I'm starting Rattler. Let's abandon Super Bowl winning game plan. Bro, yeah. All the wide receivers are decoys for Jalen Hurts to run. It's so fucking bad.
But you know what? They use them when they need them. That's what this is.
And that's the issue. They use them when they need them. And there's going to come a time where they are going to need them.
Look at the Rams. In that game versus the Rams, they were down and they said, all right, let's get up. And AJ Brown went up there and showed what he did. And I think that's why they made sure they got him that book. So he can learn to control himself, knowing what the fuck's going to go on. It's like, Saquon Barkley's here. He is our focal point. Jalen Hurts is a running quarterback. You are the third option at best.
Yeah, it's so fucking bad. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if knowing AJ is like, fuck this money, fuck this place. I want out. Because I want to play ball.
Yeah.
Like, I could you want to destruct a team from the inside? Don't keep all of your players happy. Like, you're in a 2 QB super flex. What QB would you stash that might start later in the season? I mean, he may not be available, but fuck, if you can get Jackson Dart in that format, yes. AJ Brown's to the Giants. Fuck. They wouldn't do an the Philly won't do an interdivision trade. Philly will do anything to fuck AJ Brown over before they give him to a division opponent.
The Giants finally got a quarterback. They got some pass rush. And you're going to put a dude with the swag of AJ Brown who literally will line up versus the Eagles and say, I fucking hate you for the way you fucked me, and ball out for like 200 yards in like those matchups? Nah, bro. Because I would imagine he would become so monstrous in those games that you just wouldn't want to deal with it. Like, you just wouldn't want to deal with it twice a year.
I'm gonna keep it real with you, Smitty. Go Cousins, just because we kind of already know what Gabriel is. We kind of already know what Cleveland is. I'm not trying to be a hater, bro, but like I think it's bad advice for me to tell you to roster anyone from that team right now. Like I don't think that it's wise outside of what's on the defensive side of the ball. Shout out to Myles Garrett for being in my for being in my IDP slot and not like one but like 3 fucking leagues. Yeah. Taco. Just fucking nasty. Dog, bro. Oh my gosh. And then I got another league where I picked up fucking Isaiah Rodgers after what he did. I was like, let me just fuck around and find out. I was like, I have a second corner spot. Like, I ain't doing shit with it. Like, I had fucking Jalen Petrie out there. I was like, let me just, play around. So like fucking swapped one for one, and oh my gosh. It's just he drives some minivan, bro. Pull up my team in the next chat. Available Marks, Pacheco, Corum, Keandre Miller, Slayton, Dobbs, Malik Washington, Bond, Mims, Waller, Theo, Jackson, Dart. If you can get and then let's see here. Let me see your chat from earlier, dog. Hold on, Jacob. Bro, I'd be willing to I'd be willing to grab Jackson Dart off of waivers.
Oh yeah. I mean, I added him in a 12-team league, and I put 20% of my fab on it.
Okay, so yeah, he updated it here. Boom. May, Genty, Pollard, and Buka, JSN, Juwan Johnson, Ridley, Bill, and then benches everyone that's on fucking bye.
Yeah.
For having a swing at a bye week, it ain't bad. I wish it wasn't Ridley.
Yes,
I really wish it wasn't Ridley, bro.
I would play Slayton over Ridley.
I would, yeah.
And he's right now, Slayton is 4% rostered. I mean, it's not saying that Slayton's great. He doesn't have a single game over 10 points, but I would start Slayton over Ridley. I just Cam Ward's completing 51% of his passes. That team just looks like it's not ready.
Eamon Orr is 30% available in most leagues. So, maybe someone to look at it, where you can just swap out for that, I would, let's see, and then Marks. I want to see if there's a way we can slide Marks into this shit.
I probably would play Marks over Bill. Bill got the 3 backs there, which kind of makes it a little bit tougher.
I mean, yeah, I would go Marks over Bill. The final move, Dobbs for Golden, but my gut's telling me to hold Golden. If your gut's telling you to hold Golden, I respect that.
I kind of feel you on that.
I am not. Everything that I said of how it's going to play out is already playing out.
But see, to me, Golden is trending up when you look at his targets and look at the way he's being used. And in the game before that, he had 2 big plays that they just missed. I think he is going to be a home run hitter. I do think he has the potential to, but I don't think he's going to be the alpha we thought he will be.
Smitty, I've been there before. Yes, Jake Browning is absolutely ass.
That's crazy because he didn't even do that bad last year.
No, he just fell the fuck off. Yep. Cousins about to go save the Bengals, bro. Pick him up. I wish.
I'm shocked that they didn't get Winston.
Frizz, I think your team isn't in too bad of condition where we don't need to. I got to scroll back up to where like we don't got to make too many crazy moves. Hold up. Let me go into the Discord. Dobbs is such a weird receiver, but he goes out there and gets fantasy points. When he needs to be the guy, he is the guy. Should I pick up Drake May or Dak because Lamar is injured? Dak. Dak is leading the league in passing, believe it or not.
I would take Drake May by 1,000,000 yards. I would run for Drake May. And the reason why, and I'm going to keep hammering it home, he runs the ball. It gives him a safer floor. Currently on the season, he is the number 4 quarterback. He has 2 rushing touchdowns. He has nice rushing yards, and he throws the ball. I am not saying Dak is bad. Dak had his best game of the year. But Dak on the season, just to be clear, if we go over the points because they were using Javonte enough, Dak had 7, 22, 12, 30. He is like 2 games under 13 and 2 games at 21 or above. And that's very hit or miss. And when you compare that to Drake May, May right now has done 15, 26, 19, 22. Doesn't have that high 30, but what he does have is consistency. Not 1 game below 15, and he has 3 games where he's 19 or above. So
take it back.
Yes.
Take it back in that situation.
Give me Drake.
Looking at your team in the Discord, bro. Okay, and then you would drop Parker Washington, add Darius Slayton. I would probably, I would do that. I would probably do that. Keandre Ollie Gordon. No, I wouldn't do that one. Adding Arizona, dropping Cleveland. Fuck yeah, I'm doing that. Other than that, bro, I mean, once you get CD back, I mean, your team is right back on track, you know. So I mean, don't panic too much. Your team is in a good position. You know, you got to go well for you, and you already got some Woody Marks, so good shit. For me personally, I'm grabbing Dak if I can.
Let me just see one thing. I know that Drake May is playing the Bills, and Dak is playing
the fucking Jets. Yes,
yeah, I'm definitely taking the Bills.
Keep stashing.
That is going to be a higher scoring game. That is going to be a game that actually will possibly, and if he's from behind, and he's going to have to do more. Yeah, no, I don't see any way that they're going to ice the game. Whereas the Cowboys, I could see them up 2 tutties early. Next thing you know, Javonte Williams is out here killing clock, running the ball. So, yeah, personally, I am going Drake May. And based on his current trend lines, bad game, good game, bad game, good game, this should be a meh game.
Give me Dallas. Dak is trying to he's trying to play like he's trying to prove something. I mean, he may not be winning ball games, but he's trying to play he's got something to prove. I mean, and y'all can say it's the Jets all you want, but he needs to go off against the Jets.
It's 1-2-1.
Let's see here. My QBs are Purdy, Daniels, Rattler, Browning. Daniels comes back this week, so that'll put you back, you know, back in, you know, good contention. Juwan and Kittle. I like having Juwan in the replacement as Kittle. Wide receivers are Turpin, Jennings. Jennings is a fucking liability. DK, Nico. Running backs, Hendo, Monty, Benson, Marks. I think that's a good running back core with everything with the landscape of the NFL right now. What moves would you make, and any suggestions? I would just be open to trades. For real, looking for little minor tweaks, you know, that I can, you know, maybe pull off. Maybe a Hendo and Marks to bring back an Amari and Hampton isn't a bad fucking trade here, you know, or to bring back like a Kyron Williams, you know, isn't a bad trade here. Guys that people don't seem to be too, you know, high or low on. I feel like you should keep Monty and Benson. You know, with the wide receivers, let's see if maybe we can go out there and try and go and get some dogs. Minnesota's going to try and do just enough to keep themselves in the conversation, which means that Justin Jefferson will be a thing week on, week off. Maybe you can buy Justin Jefferson, you know. A lot of people are willing to sell him and willing to sell him dirt cheap right now because he's just not getting it done for their teams. So there's some things that you can go out there and you could do. People are willing to listen to trades for Tet. Carolina's going to be playing from behind. Tet's a guy that you can get on your roster, and people are okay with listening to the offers because he's a wide receiver 1 on the Carolina Panthers. So there's some things that you could do.
I would definitely try to upgrade my wide receiver room, though. I'm like, I just Jennings and the other guy, Turpin. Really, after you're to the top 2, you're a little bit light, and with all the injuries that are going on, I would be looking at the waiver wire to do that. I really wouldn't probably make a trade for that right now, just because you're pretty solid, and I don't think you're you're sold on your running back room yet. You got to see who ends up kind of peaking out. I think Coker could be an interesting ad because, again, you're chasing upside at wide receiver. So he could be a dud or he could be something, but I think he might be one of those guys that you want to take a shot at.
With Coker, I'm not fully bought in on because, again, I start looking at like shit like where it's like it's fucking Carolina.
Yeah.
It's stupid, but the only reason I like Keandre Miller was the chance Alvin Kamara gets traded away. I mean, that's not stupid. If something, like I said, if anything in any universe were to happen to Alvin Kamara, then yes, you're going to be wanting Keandre Miller. The thing is, Alvin Kamara, he'd be out there. Win or lose, he's out there for them Saints.
He's been there for so long that it's really hard for me to see you getting rid of a keystone, like fundamental, like jersey seller, people that the fans love. Like that's really hard to trade.
Yeah, it's
still an entertainment business at the end of the day.
Yeah,
and you're not going to give up your main attraction on a trash team like this.
Exactly. Yeah. In a different league, would you do Cam Scat and Pickens for JJ? No.
Oh, hell no. Not with the quarterback situation in Minnesota.
My league gives points on all return yards. That's why I have Turpin. You're keeping Turpin.
Yep.
You're keeping Turpin. Should I trade Debo for A.O. Manor and Jacoby Myers?
That's interesting.
No.
I mean, I think Jacoby Myers might be better than Debo. All right, well, let me look at Myers' numbers before I say that.
I feel like I kind of keep that close.
Myers has been trending down since week 1, 17, 12, 9, 7.
That's why I'm like, I don't know if I do that. Not in a Cliff Kingsbury offense. I don't think that I do that.
And then AO has been nice, but not that nice because
not that nice.
You're talking about Cam at 51% completion. I would probably keep Debo.
And I have Puka, Devonta, Godwin Jr., and Debo.
Oh, you just got Godwin Jr. back.
Yep. Godwin's coming back. No, don't do that. No. They're trying to take advantage of the fact that you have the talent that you have. Yeah. I said hell no too. And when I said I'll do it for Amon, they said hell no. They said no.
Yeah.
Really quick, kind of get us back on track. I know we kind of like start answering questions. AMA is tomorrow, so you guys can also pull up tomorrow. What do you make of both Dallas and Green Bay tying? We have seen Green Bay twice now play down to competition. We've seen Dallas where we don't know what team this is.
I fucking hate it, bro. It really fucked me because I'm playing in a league where there's 40-yard touchdowns, and I was facing a dude that had Dak and Pickens, and they were just going off. That last touchdown just was like, what? Like, bro, it was like so bad. And I agree. The Packers were playing down, but Micah was like kind of in and out, and Mike had some issues, which I think definitely impacted the game. Because if Micah's healthy, I don't know if this game plays out the same. Because he did not have the impact that I was expecting him to. To be honest,
Bro,
Jerry Jones is looking pretty smart in his wheeling and dealing because you bring back,
no.
Clowney, you got Clowney, you got Clark, you got Cash, and you got picks.
Who's the best running back handcuff in the league? I mean, that's so situational.
I mean, that's Monty.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would have to say Monty hands down.
Yeah, because he's like standalone value in the system already. If fucking
Exactly.
Gibbs goes down, he's like top 12.
Yeah. But I mean, fuck, that can change very quickly too.
Yeah, because you could look at a guy like Hendo and like if one of those guys hurt, he could fucking maybe blow up.
Yeah,
Or another,
Hendo then all of a sudden goes off. I mean, Hampton is already showing his handcuff value, with what had happened. Charbonnet definitely.
Yeah.
Charbonnet, I love because Seattle already trusts him in certain situations where it's like you have to bake that into the whole K9 scenario.
We've already brought up the Blake Corum situation. That's another guy where if he gets a shot, I think he would really have a good role.
Mm-hmm.
If Kyron got hurt, that's another guy that I think is a solid handcuff, but I just don't see anyone if you're talking about top being better than what Monty presented.
If things start happening, to that Washington backfield, like other things, and then Bill continues to stay healthy, well, then now he also now goes into that conversation. That's a fucking crazy conversation. But I do love just some of the obvious ones of like we already mentioned, Charbonnet.
I guess you could put Scat in that kind of situation because Tracy did have it, but I think he's starting to go from backup to starter.
Scat's taking it.
Yeah, I mean, we thought that, but I think it's happening a lot.
I love Tootin. I love what Tootin's gonna be in the NFL. Obviously Virginia Tech shit. Yeah, no, really quick, but no, that tie was ass. That was fucking awful. Killed so many damn parlays. Bad, just a black eye on the season for both of those organizations because that's going to now rear its ugly head later down the line. And you never want your season dictated by a tie.
No.
Is Baltimore's playoff hopes out the window after getting fucking obliterated by the Chiefs?
I wouldn't say they're out the window when we know that there's so many wild card teams that can make it. But they better step their shit up soon because you ain't got many more losses left in you. And this is a big 3 team, but they've faced the Bills and the Chiefs in their first 4 games. So I think you have to give them a little bit of grace for that. And they're gonna have some division matchups that you're gonna have to win. You're gonna have to beat the Steelers. You're gonna have to beat the Bengals. You're gonna have to beat everybody. The Browns. I mean, you already do that.
You have to win the important games.
Yeah, you got to win your division. You have to sweep your division. They need to take both games from the Steelers. This way, you can kind of catch up.
No, I'm in agreement with you there. I don't know who this team is anymore. And I don't think that this team knows who they are anymore. So kind of when we talk about that and we look about that, look, Derek, did you know? Oh, I heard that. You're good. Derrick Henry is, 500-ish yards away from breaking his career high school rushing record of all time. That is insane to think about, being that you're in high school for a total of 4 years, and this man has been in the NFL for 10 seasons. With that being said and stated, this team has to start going out there and playing with a lot more pride and a lot more attitude and a lot more swagger than of what we remember them to be able to do. It's kind of odd seeing them go out there week in, week out and play flat. Yes, it's cool for us fantasy managers. It is not good for the betting side of things. It makes the bets very difficult because it's a team that you want to kind of, put it all in line with and, bet with some confidence that, they're going to be able to pull it through and, bring the money home. But, we'll see. This is a bounce back game against Houston. Baltimore is hosting. I expect the flock to be, fully alive. A chance to go 2-3. No, it's not over, but you have to win. You have to fucking win. Can't be giving up these playing down in competition games. Losing to the Kansas City Chiefs, absolutely diabolical for Baltimore. It'll be done once the Texans are done with them. The way you talking, I might throw a little something on Houston. Lamar turning into Samuel Jackson in the holes with DC. Zach Orr weak run fits. Yeah, it's not a great look. And really quick, just going to get into things all NFL fans must accept week 4 edition. Things NFL fans must accept after week 4. It doesn't matter how Ashton Genty stands. Okay, the man finally went off this week. Had 138 on the ground and a TD. Good shit. Good shit. I love seeing that. I know I was, giving this man a hard time throughout the duration of the season, so far. But hey, he finally bounced back and he showed off, he popped out and he showed. So big shouts to Ashton Genty. I don't give a damn that it was against the Bears. That's how you do it. 21 carries, 138, 1 TD. All right. Let's see here. Dak Prescott is playing at MVP levels. Now, I don't know if having a fucking tie on your record justifies that sentence, but the stats are the stats, and at the end of the day, it is a QB award, and he is playing out of his freaking mind right now. So, I mean, maybe I take it for what it's worth. Maybe it's a little penny for your thoughts whenever we talk about Dak Prescott. Let me just double check something for you guys in regards to Dak Prescott, okay? Let's just go by the numbers. Already 1,119 yards passing, 6 TDs, but he also has 3 picks on the season. He has half as many picks as he does touchdowns on the season. What happens when you play a good lineman is Gino's fault. Isaiah Rodgers is Defensive Player of the Year contention. You got to keep that level of play up for the rest of the season, bud. But, I mean, damn, playing out of your freaking mind. Excited to see what can keep happening. Travis Hunter should play wide receiver full time. Had a sick grab against the middle. I think that this is more of a overreaction to how trash BTJ has been, and thus forcing the conversation of you need to get Travis Hunter out there more because he's probably going to give you a little bit more production than what the fuck BTJ is going to do for you. The Ravens will miss the playoffs. I am panicking. We'll see. They got to get right against Houston this week. AJ Brown will eventually request a trade. The NFL should eliminate ties. Play this shit out. Give us a winner. Don't do us like that. There's enough money to go around in gambling and sports and everything for the fan base of which you do get paid from. We don't need ties anymore. Betting league, we don't need ties anymore. There's no need to even hedge bets. Like bet with your heart. It is what it is. The boys don't want ties anymore. Get rid of it. AJ Brown to the Ravens. That would be sick. Shedeur Sanders will be QB1 by week 8 for the Cleveland Browns. They're going to get frustrated with this Dylan Gabriel experience. And I think that they're going to get frustrated with themselves looking stupid, even though despite they've looked stupid for a really long time. So we'll see. Hey, it is what it is. You don't wholeheartedly believe in Dylan Gabriel. You don't wholeheartedly believe in Dylan Gabriel, and no one on the fucking face of this planet does. The Browns don't even fully believe in Dylan Gabriel, or else you would not have drafted 2 quarterbacks. And Tyreek Hill has played his last game with the Dolphins. I think he may have even played his last game in the NFL.
I can see a team like the Steelers giving him a shot next year. They have rehabilitate grown men.
Mike Tomlin feels like he can rehabilitate, so I mean, we'll see. Other than that, chat, that is everything for Tuesday night. The Goal Line Goons. Anything that you want to say? Save me. Wait. All right. What you got? I'm gonna let you type.
Bring it on down. I need big time help. We got big time answers. If you're the Eagles, you don't trade AJ Brown at all, though. Because when the Super Bowl comes, you're going to need him. And Eagles are clearly a Super Bowl team.
Eagles might say, yo, let's save that money.
When you could go back to back, though, is it really worth it?
This is the Philadelphia that we're talking about.
Yeah, they're not cheap. Look at the Phillies. Phillies is
a new QB will fix that whole entire Cincinnati offense.
Don't know about that. Chase Brown didn't even look good with
that offensive line is terrible though. So never mind. Jackson, Gibbs, Cook, BTJ, Sutton, Hurts, Vincent, Lions, D, Dicker.
It's a good team.
Yeah, I like this team.
Yeah.
Bench, Evans, Judy. You can swap out Prescott.
I'll move Bateman.
Like the quarterback situation. Texas D, Bateman, tradable. Kraft, like that. Ale Manor, glad you got him. Vixen, he can be on. I'm sure he's on IR, just waiting to come back. I like it. I like it. I would probably say trade Judy, but you probably can't trade him because he's a Cleveland Brown. And
or you might not get like the value that you would kind of want from him. Probably just get another meh player. Like Judy might have a better shot depending on who the quarterback is. Because that's the thing about Judy is like with a different quarterback, his usage
you could probably move Judy for some shit. You could probably do it. Like you could probably bring Wandell back. Like if someone's already grabbed Wandell off of waivers, you could probably bring Wandell back for Judy, and I would do that.
Oh fuck no, I wouldn't do that.
Hell yeah, I would.
I keep Judy. Yeah. I think until I see what happens with
Gabriel, you're high on Judy. I'm not high on Judy. I don't.
But like you haven't seen what Gabriel's going to do with him yet.
I would get rid of Jerry Judy for a fucking bag of peanuts.
You said that last year, and look at what happened.
He popped off for like a couple of games for you, and you felt really great.
By the championship run.
Would you trade Hendo, Woody Marks, and Travis Hunter for Trey Benson and Tet? Ooh. Only other running back is Jacobs and Ali.
That's interesting. I kind of would say yes because Benson has the solid workload and Tet's upside is the highest.
Yeah, Benson and Tet's upside is whereas I'm still waiting on Hendo to like get that full workload.
And we don't know what the fuck's gonna happen.
We don't know what's gonna happen with Woody Marks with Mixon back in the fold. Travis Hunter, until he decides to play wide receiver full time, you're not getting a full fantasy workload out of him. So yes, I will probably do that. Feels like no one respects the Bengals passing game, so they just focus heavy run defense, and it's been working. It's because they have no offensive line, so there's nothing to respect. When you can get to the quarterback and just aggravate the quarterback like that, even if it's Joe Burrow back there in the pocket, it makes the game plan a lot easier for you. And now that you don't have to worry about Burrow, like I think that your lineup is great.
Yeah. Let it breathe.
Yeah, if Jackson doesn't start, you just easily slide in Prescott. But I mean, one good game for Dusan. Bruce 1 KR. Crazy how I'm able to say I got both Jamar Chase and JJ on the same team, and it don't mean shit. This season is weird. I know. All's fair in love and fantasy football, bro. We're gonna get it right. We're gonna get it right. We're gonna win some championships. It's all good. It's all good. Hey, no worries. Give us a follow, man. Give us a follow. We greatly appreciate it. Cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the rum boys and girls, what to do. Dilly dilly. I'm Robbie. That's Taco. We outie. Peace.
Reaching on the, yeah.